geoengineering. Unbelievable. Look at that guy. He missed a spot, so he's turning around and coming back. There's 3, 4 right there. 5, 6, 7, 8. Crazy. Look, and they just start. And oh, there's another one, 9. There, you can see what I mean. There's a drip of oil on there right now, dripping down that rear shock. So it's done. So I gotta undo this bolt, it looks like. And then supposedly you can get at the other one from under here. I don't want to drop this whole clevis down, but I could. Okay, so the other bolt. There it is there. Oof. I have to take this cover off here. This cover has to come off. And I can't see. Okay, you can see the top of the shock. Where am I here? Trying to get this camera focused in. One sec. Yeah, that bolt. That's much glare here. There we go. That bolt with the green on the end of it there. Got to get that one out. I had to take this cover off for that. This is on the right side of the bike. And then if you go to the left side, that's where the air hoses are. So I took this cover off. This is the other side. That cover comes off. Then you got to undo these 2 bolts to disconnect the air line to that monoshock. So I'm going to do that next. Don't know if I should undo. I just don't know if this whole thing will pull out with the shock. If there's enough clearance. Yeah, there should be. Where does this line? There's an air. I want to see where that air line goes. It's on there good. You get a Johnson wire. Holy, that sucker's in there good. There we go. I'm on the left side of the bike. There's no nut on that side. It threads right into the housing. So now I just got to get this bolt out. And this one, there it is, a pretty long bolt. So now that should be free. And then the top one, it's going to be much harder to get at the bolts because I'm going to need a flex heads on them. I just want to see where that hose comes out. The air hose, where it comes out, I don't see it. Okay, let me pry this apart. Get my pry bar. For a minute. Spacer in there. I got this one loosened up, and I've got put new tips on here a couple of years ago. I got them, I think, on eBay for like 20 bucks or something. Like, just ridiculously cheap. Brand new in the original Yamaha packaging. Okay, let me see if I can wiggle that pipe off. My crippled body. Got the old exhaust out. Here's the new tips I put on a couple of years ago. They're just held on with 2 springs and just like a rubber liner in between it. That's it, the wedge is on there. But here's the big difference here. The 86 and 87 is rubber mounted. I believe this is off an 83 or an 84. It was a new takeoff, and like, it's virtually unused. So there's 2 choices. I could cut this mount off here and this one off and weld that on, so I got a rubber mount on that exhaust, which is really firm. Like, that is, I don't think there's any movement in that at all. Or I can drill that out and just put a regular 8mm bolt in there like it was on the previous years. I think that's the easiest fix. Drill that out. Quick, easy fix. Drill it out, bolt it on. It's good to go. Okay, so that's it. You can see this is the older one here. I sat in the guy's garage and it's getting really rusty. A cement floor garage, and the damp cold winters up here just eats the exhausts up. So that's what I'm gonna do. Keep those for spares. Okay, gotta pull the other side off, and then I can take the hangers off. The linkage is off the monoshock. Okay, got both mufflers off, got the bolt off on the other side. Just got to take this one out. It's another 17. Right there, I think. Put this back together. Well, I got this all apart. I can clean all this up too. Might even buy a new rear tire. That tire's got lots of tread left on it, but it's old, really old. I should see if I could see the date on it here somewhere. Okay, there's the linkage out of the way. Now just got to undo the top bolts. I think this thing's leaking out of the bottom here. We'll get it apart. I'm going to try to rebuild it myself. There's a shop in town that I think can do it as well too. So, okay, it's probably 17mm bolts on the top, but I'm going to need an offset. It's going to be hard to get at. Oof. Okay. Okay, you missed all the fun. I've left the bolt in there. It's half in the saddle. And you can see it right there. That's a 17mm head on this side. And on the other side, it's got a 14mm nut. And I put the a 14mm socket on the other side, spun it loose. And then I couldn't get a wrench on this side to hold it because the air lines, the air hoses are right here, so I couldn't get a wrench around it. So then I put the 17mm socket here with the flex head on this side, which is the left-hand side of the bike. And then I slid a 14mm wrench up on the other side, left it hanging there, and it just jammed against the frame as it spun the bolt out. Then I tapped the bolt out from the other side with a hammer, or with a screwdriver, a long screwdriver, just tapped right out. Now here's the monoshock. Oh, everybody's talking about, and it looks pretty wet down in here. So I haven't seen anybody do a video on rebuilding it, but I've heard you can rebuild it, people are saying. So it's probably a matter of being able to get that sealed and getting it apart. So I'm going to look at that next here. Okay. It's a big sturdy shock. There's the O-ring right there. I can see the seal in there, and I can see that's where it's leaking. I bled the air pressure off here. There was a little bit of air pressure still left in it. So that's the seal. It's probably held in with this lock ring somehow. Hopefully it's rebuildable. Got a big hex nut on here. I think I did see on somebody's website there, or YouTube channel, that there is a place in the States that rebuilds them, a motorcycle guy, and he's already got a bunch rebuilt. You just send him your old one and he sends you a rebuilt one. So I might have to look that up again, because that seal would have to be held in with a lock ring, but I don't know. It looks like, I don't know how you would do that. But I'm sure this whole thing unscrews. You need a massive wrench for that, which I don't have. KYB, pretty sure that's the same shocks I just put on my truck. I'm going to go down and look that up on the internet. This is the monoshock out of my Venture, and it's pissing oil out of here. It's been leaking for quite a while, and it says non-rebuildable, so I don't know. It looks like it might come apart here, but this part here looks like it's, the seal's peened over, so you'd have to cut that off or something to grind this off to get the seal out. I don't know. Anyways, I emailed the one guy on the Venture channel there. I think his name is Dave, whatever. I never heard back. Supposedly he rebuilds Venture shocks, but I think it's more like these ones. So I ordered this on eBay, and I could tell from the picture on eBay that it wasn't leaking. This is off an 84. That's an 86. The same year as my bike, I think, 86, 87. And they changed them. The previous ones had this spring in it, which I kind of like. My other Ventures, I had an 83 and I had an 85. They sat taller. because this spring holds it taller. Yeah, so I kind of like that. It's easier to get on the center stand. This one's not leaking. Couldn't find a rebuild. I'm sticking this one in for now. It's a little different. The adjuster part's the same. The bolt holes are going to match, but this hose on the older bikes normally goes on the right hand side of the bike, where the air hose on this one usually attaches. I was going to switch this plate and try to switch it over and make it fit in there. It can't be done. I tried. This cable in here and this apparatus is totally different than this one. So I was going to try to fit that one into here. No, it won't work. And it's the cable here is different how it attaches to the shock, so you can't change that end. It's totally different. This one's threaded in. So I'll mount this probably back on the right hand side of the bike somewhere. I'll find some place to mount it. So I'm going to stick this back in, get this bike back on the road. Yeah, I think that's it. This one's got the bushings in here. You can pop out and lube. I'll see if I can get the other ones out. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put that one back in. Okay, I got the shock in there. That took like an hour. You got to get the top bolt in first. I actually had to, I'll show you on this shock here. This is the bottom of the old shock, and there's a bushing in the center here. And I just took my grinder and just shaved off a few thou on either side so it slip in there, because even when that thing was together, it was hard for me to get this thing out. I had to hammer it out. It's so tight. So I shaved this down a little bit so it went in a little easier. And then I put the top bolt in first. That actually went in very easy. And because I tried to start with the bottom, I thought, oh, I'll get the bottom and that's easy, and then I'll push it up and get the top one. No. Got to get the top bolt in first. So make sure you do that. And then I had to jack up the back wheel to get the linkages in right and everything lined up. And that was the hardest part, was getting all the bolts lined up through the sleeves. And that was hard. So then now I got the exhaust on, and I had to drill out the holes in the older style exhaust from 83 to 85, I believe. They were just bolted in, and in 86 and 87, they were rubber mounted in. So I think I showed that it'll be in this video anyways, earlier. So I just got those all tapped in, all hammered in. I'm just gonna run it now, see if it'll fire up. It's not too cold out tonight, maybe around freezing. And see if I got any exhaust leaks. Let the fuel pump fill up. A couple times, choke. No leak. The bike runs so good when it's cold. It tells me that those choke plungers are leaking a little bit again. You know, all these bikes are 35, 40 years old. The rubber dries out and they leak when the bike's hot in the summertime. So I'm going to replace them. And I got a couple ideas for that, dude. They're so freaking expensive, it's unbelievable. Anyway, she works good. That works good. I thought I might have a little exhaust leak around there, but nope, I'm tightened up pretty good. Look at the glare from these lights up here. It's terrible lighting in my garage here. I gotta put it down a little bit. So yeah, I'm gonna pull these carbs off one more time and fix those choke plungers. They're the cheapest place that I can find is there's a company in Europe. If I find a link, I'll put it in the video here. And I think they want like 22 bucks or 22 pounds. I think 22, 23 pounds each, just for the choke plunger. And everywhere else is like $40 to $100 each for those plungers. So I think for around 118 or 20 bucks Canadian, I can have them shipped here. That's just about as cheap as I can find. The last bike I did, I got them really cheap, but they're so hard to find, those older bikes. They put them in the V Maxes and the Ventures and a couple of the XVs. That carburetor, it's a Mikuni carburetor. But all the newer models, they're slightly different. They won't work. And yeah, it's rubber. What I'm gonna do, I've got one of the plungers out from, I've got a whole bunch of them around here from all the bikes that I've changed. My XJ900, I changed them in that thing too. And I'm gonna machine the end of that plunger down, and maybe I'll go do it right now and do that. Because it's a press fit into the rubber bushings, a press fit into the bronze, and then they peen it over. They roll over that bushing in there. So I'm gonna put it in the lathe and cut the end of that where they peened it over, and see if I can pull that rubber bushing out, and maybe I can make one or find one or something, and then just epoxy it into the hole. I know, I'm gonna have a look at it, see what I can do with it. Just trying to turn down the choke plunger to see how that seal is fitted in there, because it's kind of peened over on the end. Cutting away a bit of it. It'd be nice if I could cut it open and just replace the seal. Yeah. Oh, there we go. I think I did take it right off. Yeah. Let's see what happens now. It's kind of peened over the edge. That center part doesn't come out, but maybe the seal will. I gotta get a pick. There. Just kind of hoping it's going to slide out. I don't know. Oh yeah, I think it's coming out. Yeah, look at that. You can see I almost got it off there. That's all it is. It's just a little seal. It's a little seal, it's gone hard, and it gets grooves cut into it. Sure be nice to, if I had some new ones to put in there. Don't know where I could get a little rubber seal like that. And it needs to be petrol proof or gasoline proof. Because, where's the fucking camera? There we go. Because these things, anywhere from like $65 to $95 each. I did find a company in Great Britain that sells them for like 26 pounds each. So I don't know what that is, Canadian dollars, 30 something. Plus shipping. So yeah, because I got a couple old sets of these because I keep replacing them on all my bikes. If I could just find a little, I should measure that seal and see if I can find something. Yeah, it's 3 mil wide by 1 mil thick, and the diameter of the brass here is 4 mil. So maybe I can find a cheaper plunger and cut out the seal and then insert them in here. That might be a cheaper way to go, because some of these from China, they're only like $9. So maybe I'll buy one and try it. Might be a cheaper way to go. Okay, that's it for now. I ordered it from this company in Great Britain. I think it's called Motorcycle Products. I'll click on that in a minute. It was 60 pounds plus 22 pounds shipping, 82 pounds altogether, and with exchange, 147.44. More than I wanted to spend, but it's pretty much got to be done. I didn't want to screw around with trying to find a seal or making a seal and gluing it in there, putting it all together, and then it doesn't work or it leaks and take it out again. I already had those carbs out like 5 times for different things, 4 or 5 times. So this is gonna be the last time I take those carbs apart. Let me click on this company here. Yeah, this is the company here, Motorcycle Products. Put in the year, make and model, find parts. It's out of Great Britain. That's the cheapest place I could find them. Okay, that's it for this video. The next video should be out in a few days on the Cub Cadet. Maybe by Wednesday I should have that out. And I'll have that thing back up and running. Thanks for watching.